Hey guys, my name is Jonathan Pendergrast, and today I will discuss the problem with the voting age being too high, what is the cause of that, and the solution to the problem. Imagine you are 16 and you just got your first summer job. You work for 2 weeks with long and hard hours, just like any adult would do. You're expecting a large paycheck on payday. Unfortunately, you see that a large portion of your money has been subtracted from your total. Your parents explain taxes to you as you complain about it being unfair. At this point in your life, you're old enough to drive, you can work unrestricted, and you are treated and expected to act like an adult. But for some reason, you do not have the same privileges as one. My topic today is that we should lower the voting age to 16 because it is unfair to treat 16 and 17-year-olds like adults but not allow them the same privileges, such as voting. I'm qualified to discuss this subject because I myself was once 16, being taxed and treated like an adult without being afforded the same privileges. I've also done ample research and found credible sources to support my argument. There are 3 main points that I will discuss in the body of my speech. First, I will explain the problem with the voting age being high. Then I will discuss why that is a problem. And finally, I will suggest that the voting age should be lowered to 16 and explain why. Let's begin with why a higher voting age is a problem. My first main point is there is a problem with the voting age being too high. Citizens that are 16 and 17 are expected to act like adults and oftentimes treated as adults. These teenagers are now old enough to drive, many of them pay taxes, and can work without restrictions on their hours, and can also be tried as adults in court. If a minor makes over $1,100, then they have to file a tax return and pay taxes. And according to the National Juvenile Justice Network, it is estimated that 250,000 teenagers are tried, sentenced, or incarcerated as adults every year in America. Also, on any given day, 10,000 teenagers are detained or incarcerated in adult jails and prisons. Now that you understand the problem presented, I will discuss why this is a problem. My second main point is to discuss why this is a problem. And I believe that it is unfair to treat teenagers like adults when they are not able to experience the same privileges as adults, such as voting. Terry Turner from annuity.org says that taxes are mandatory payments to the federal, state, and local governments. The money is used to fund public goods and services that benefit the community as a whole. Community as a whole is the main point there. 16 and 17-year-olds are obviously part of the community, and they use public services such as roads and schools. This means that the taxes that minors pay go to the roads they drive on, the schools they go to, and even the adult prisons that they may end up in. So my question is, how is this fair to make minors pay money when they have no way to participate in how that money is used? An early motto for our country was no taxation without representation. According to the Annie E. Casey Foundation, the ages between 15 and 17 years old account for almost 13 million people. This is a large number of people that are left unrepresented when it comes to politics because they are unable to vote. Now that I have explained why this is a problem, I will recommend a solution. My third main point will be to suggest that we should lower the voting age to 16. Lowering the voting age to 16 will allow millions more people to vote and have a say in how their community and country are ran. Many people argue that 16 and 17-year-olds are not mature, smart, or politically aware enough to vote. However, a study done by the American Psychological Association surveyed adults along with 16 and 17-year-olds. Their survey studied judgments and justifications for lowering the voting age. Justifications were coded for integrative, elaborative, and dialectical complexity of reasoning. The results concluded that these young adults, ages 16 and 17, absolutely possess the cognitive capacity and political knowledge to vote. In conclusion, today I discussed why the voting age should be lowered to 16. There were 3 main points that I focused on today. First, I stated that there is a problem with the voting age being too high. Then I explained why that was a problem. And finally, I recommended lowering the voting age to 16 to solve that problem. 16 and 17-year-olds are treated like adults without the same privileges that adults have. It is unfair to make them pay taxes when they are not represented by the government. Allowing them to vote would force politicians to listen to what they have to say and take their ideas into account. Many people argue that these people 16 and 17 years old are not mature enough to vote, but the studies show that they possess the cognitive ability to make informed decisions while voting. So I ask you to consider that next time you hear someone say that a 16-year-old is not smart enough to vote. Thank you for listening.